Are you excited for Lions football? If you are, smash that like button right now. Look, we are 6 days away from the Lions hosting the Rams on Sunday Night Football. I know you're excited. I sure am as well. We're going to be getting into the starting lineup for the Lions versus the Rams. We're going to go through each player position and what it means for Detroit. Obviously, the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions against the Rams is going to be Jared Goff. There is no question that he is going to be the quarterback, and he's going to be starting the whole year unless injury here. Regardless of what some fans think or analysts throughout the media, Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback, and he is leading this dynamic offense on Sunday Night Football. But what if he was to get injured? Then Hendon Hooker is going to be your QB2, as we know. And just think about this. I haven't heard anything, but I'd love to see if Hendon Hooker could get maybe some carries like on a 3rd and 1 or a 4th down or something like that due to his legs and his ability to scramble. That would be nice, but Jared Goff is going to be your quarterback. When it comes back to running back position, we do dual running backs here, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They split carries because this room is epic, and David Montgomery last year at 219 carries, 1,115 yards, and 13 touchdowns, average of 4.6. Dynamic, at least in between the tackles, and he could do the big play. We've seen that versus the Chargers. And of course, the Lions' really good player here, that is Jahmyr Gibbs, 182 carries on 945 yards, 10 touchdowns, an average of 5.2. This guy is the G, but you just can't forget about him. There's also Craig Reynolds, who's going to be, he potentially could be on the field, get a couple carries here and there. They love Craig Reynolds. And Parker Hesse is going to be the fullback starting for the Detroit Lions. And Sione Vaki is RB4, so maybe he'll get some touches as well in the game. So I got a question for you. Who is going to be the leading rusher for the Detroit Lions Week 1 versus the Rams? Type 5 if you think it's going to be Montgomery, 26 if you think it's going to be Gibbs, 13 if you think it's going to be Craig Reynolds, and 33 if you believe it's going to be Sione Vaki. Let's jump into the wide receiver position. We already know who wide receiver 1's going to be. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is the OG of this game. He is the guy who's going to make some big plays for the Lions on Sunday night, for sure. But I got a question for you as well. Will Amon-Ra St. Brown, what's the over and under? 1,500 yards. Will he get over that this season? Put O. If you think he gets under that, put U in the comments below. Your wide receiver 2 is obviously going to be Jameson Williams, and we're really excited to see what he can do. We've been hearing the hype all training camp. Can he produce that type of results Week 1 versus the Rams, taking the top off the defense and being a real big contributor at wide receiver? And Kalif Raymond will be your wide receiver 3. Why is that? Because Kalif Raymond is awesome, and he is a mismatch for any defense. Are you looking to go to the Lions game, Sunday Night Football opening, Week 1, Lions versus Rams? Well, if you are, go look at Game Time. You can get tickets there because they have killer deals, last-minute tickets, and lowest prices guaranteed, and you could stop stressing and start getting hyped for the fun that you're going to have. It is easy to find and buy tickets for any kind of event in your area, whether that's sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest prices guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed, which means you're always getting the best prices. And if you find tickets in the same area section or less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And in the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area like a 3D live photo. So download Game Time, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, download Game Time, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. You got to create an account. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you are buying Lions tickets this year, make sure using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Let's go ahead and jump into the offensive line. Who is going to be the starters on Sunday night here? And it's going to be Taylor Decker is going to be your left tackle. Graham Glasgow, left guard Frank Ragnow will be your center. Kevin Zeitler, right guard. Penei Sewell is going to be your right tackle. Yeah, I know he's dinged up with an ankle injury, but there's no way on God's green earth that Penei Sewell is not going to be starting for opening night versus the LA Rams. And one of the players here that we're all excited to watch here, I think, is Kevin Zeitler. He was the number 2 pass protector in football last year for the offensive line. The Lions can see what they have in him, and this man can really protect Jared Goff's for this game. And if you give Goff time, it's over. So we're watching what he can do. And Graham Glasgow moved to the different side of the offensive line from last year. When it comes to the Lions tight ends, this is what we got going on. Sam LaPorta is going to be your tight end 1. He's going to be getting most of the receiving yards. Brock Wright is going to be tight end 2. Maybe you get a couple catches Sunday Night Football. I know they're trying to implement him quite a bit. And tight end 3/fullback is going to be Parker Hesse. He is an all-around type of player. Folks, you need to hit that sub button so you don't miss out on the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. This channel is just dedicated to the Detroit Lions and the latest Lions. So if you love Lions, subscribe right now. Let's go ahead and jump to the Detroit Lions defense and who they're going to be pushing out this up and coming season. Now we're going to go ahead and start with the Detroit Lions. Lions will have Aiden Hutchinson at edge right there. We know what he can bring, but he's supposed to be taking that next step. Real excited if he can get to Stafford a couple times. Ali McNeil will be your starting defensive tackle. We all know that. We're a little bit questionable. Will DJ Reader actually get some snaps this up-and-coming game? Maybe not. I don't know. If that is the case, it'll be Levi Onwuzurike. Marcus Davenport is going to be your other edge starting. We are very curious over here to see what he can do for the Detroit Lions defensive line, as he is the Lions' new pass rusher that they have on there. Again, here is the depth chart just in case if DJ Reader can't go. You'll have Levi Onwuzurike, Mekhi Wingo in there for the Lions. We'll wait and see what happens on that front. Let's go to the starting linebackers for the Detroit Lions. You got Alex Anzalone. He's going to be your starter, the guy who looks like Thor. Jack Campbell jumps to linebacker 2 for the Lions, and Derek Barnes is going to be LB3. A lot of pass rushing that he's going to do for the Lions this season. Malcolm Rodriguez will be your backup if there is an injury or if they want to do more linebackers, and Jalen Reeves-Maben as well. When it comes to the linebacker position, the Detroit Lions are actually really, really stacked. And so I am confident in this group that they're going to be one of the strengths of this whole defense. Excited to see what happens right there. Let's get to the Lions secondary. You're going to have Carlton Davis, who the Detroit Lions traded for, who's going to be your starting cornerback number 1. We haven't seen anything so far of him. Super excited to see what he can do Sunday night. Terrion Arnold, who the Lions traded up in the draft. He is going to be your cornerback 2. Again, someone we have not seen. We have a lot of hype. We expect him to do some big things. Maybe he can really help this defense out. Meek Robertson's going to be your nickel cornerback. I love Meek Robertson and what he brings to the Detroit Lions. Super excited to see what he can do on Sunday Night Football. A very underrated player. He's going to be your nickel for that game. Brian Branch is going to be your strong safety for the game, and we know what he can do at nickel corner. Now we're really excited to see what he can do at safety, where he can probably get more plays, make more plays. This is something that he can read the defense and read the quarterback. He can read the quarterback, and he can make a play from there. We expect him to be big time this year. And then Kirby Joseph is the other safety, the guy who gets interceptions. We all love Kirby Joseph. And I know he had a little bit of a down year last year, but it was also, I believe, due to the fact that he was injured. Question for you really quick. Which side of the ball is better? Type O if you believe it's the offense. Type D if you think it's going to be the defense. Let's go ahead and jump to special teams for this part as well. You're going to have Jack the Goat Fox will be the punter for the Lions, and we pin him back. Jake Bates is going to be the Lions kicker. All eyes are going to be on Jake Bates. potentially for kickoffs and extra points in field goals. Can he produce in this game? Because if he can't, we are in a world of potentially hurt a little bit. Well, he will be, that's for sure. Hogan Hatton is going to be your long snapper. Not much really to talk about there. That is going to be your starting lineup for the Detroit Lions versus the Rams and throughout the season. Now, it could be switching a little bit throughout the season. You could see a situation where Terrion Arnold jumps Carlton Davis for cornerback 1. You could see a situation where they officially put Jahmyr Gibbs maybe as running back 1, even though it doesn't really matter right there. A little bit switches that could take place, but that is right there the Lions starting lineup. And what they're going to do on Sunday Night Football and throughout the NFL season. And you look at this depth chart all around, I think the Lions got one of the best depth charts in all of football, all around from offense, defense, special teams. There's question marks with kicker, right? There's question marks at edge 2, the Marcus Davenport. I don't think there's much question marks there, but there is a little bit, right? And there's obviously question marks when you talk about wide receiver 4 and beyond. But all in all, this is a great team. This is going to be a team that should be winning the NFC North. The roster is talented. We get to see how Aaron Glenn can do with this new defense. We get to see if the Lions can contain the mobile quarterback throughout the year. A lot to get into, and that's just the facts of the situation. It's going to be a fun year. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. This is all about Lions content, so you don't miss out on the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. With that said, folks, adios.